a lot, Wendy. I appreciate this opportunity, first of all, to present my ideas to your audience, because the economy and society is changing so quickly. I actually had to modify this title. We talked about that this week because we're always in beta, and and we've never had changes that are more critical, more tectonic than we're having right now. And when I was asked to present in March last fall, they said, "What's your subject?" And I said, "I don't know, because we don't know what the world's going to look like 6 months from now." So we really kind of left this in flux. So right up to the last minute, a lot of what you're seeing is really new. And the other thing is that what we're gonna, let me see if I can move this ahead, that what I want to talk about is your tweaked life. And what does this mean? I was looking at some lean materials, and I saw Yokoten, and it's the practice of spreading good ideas horizontally between and across organizations. And that's a lot of what my work talks about in terms of what's important, what your role is, and why what you do is so important. Because no matter where you are in the organization, how you operate and how you institute your own best practices throughout the organization affects your organization. And that's why it's really important to know who you are in the new economy and to use that as a basis for your success. What kind of good ideas do you have? What are the best practices that you're going to spread? Because you can be on your own. You can be a consultant. You could be operating inside a corporation. No matter where you are. In fact, the successful large organizations in the new economy encourage entrepreneurial thinking from their employees. So starting with that premise of who are you, how do you operate in business to find opportunities that align with who you are? And you want to ask yourself, what are you planning to do with your new opportunities based on your values and based on your principles? And I really want you to think about that as we go through this today, because actually we're going to talk about that at the end. So those who identify new opportunities, you're going to be making a good and an accurate assessment of your actual current environment. And you're also going to be making a really good assessment of who you are and what you have to offer as conditions change, and they are changing. So aligning yourself with the new economy, huge, broad topic, very deep topic. And so we're really only going to have a chance to skim the surface in, what do we have, an hour? But this title is also the working title of my new book. So I'm building on these ideas, and I'll also be looking for some feedback from you. So please stick around, because also I'm going to give away three of my most recent books to people who stick around, and we're going to have some conversation, I hope, in the chat box. So I'm trying to capture what's relevant while things are in motion, and things are actually shifting into overdrive in a way that we could not have predicted. So it's a matter of staying nimble and making small but significant shifts in your thinking and in your actions, because you want to stay on top of things. This economy is going to come back strong. I really believe that. But it's going to be in response to needs that some of us can't see yet. They're not completely defined. We're just starting to get clarity on where things are going. So right now, what I want to do is review some of the basics from my book, 30 Days to Success in the New Economy, and then look at your place in the future, how you can create business opportunities for yourself that apply your values and your principles so that you can make important contributions, and you can, at the same time, you're fulfilling your own destiny. There's an intersection here, and only you know where that is. And this is my own journey too. So we're all looking at what we've got to offer. We're looking at where our interests are, and we're also looking at what the world needs right now. So for the first part of this presentation, I'm going to throw a lot of information at you. But for the second part, I'm actually going to be looking for your thoughts on it because I want us to be able to get ready to type into that comment box. So I said, a lot of listening up front, but I'm really looking for a lot of interaction in the second part of this presentation. I'm going to be asking some questions. So kind of get ready for that and think about the kind of basics to the economy that I'm going to be talking about. And how do you see yourself in there? What's your perspective? What's your role moving forward? The most important overall concept for the new economy is that instead of just dealing in real life experiences, we're also going to be more and more engaged in virtual alignments. And think broad about this. Think about virtual money, Bitcoin. Think about virtual nations. New concept, but think about virtual nations. In fact, as you think about parallel economies and parallel societies, you could actually be living next door to somebody in the real world who's operating in a virtual world that's very different than yours. Your success is going to exist at the intersection where these pioneers in the virtual world, like yourself, are going to meet powerful factors in your universe. Who are your thought leaders? What's your financial sector? How do you deal with money? Again, think cryptocurrency. What kind of value creators are in your life? Who creates value for you? What kind of value do you create for other people? So let's take a quick look back at the big changes that are impacting us right now. First of all, we had a catastrophic failure of small business through no fault of our own, right, in America in 2020. But all of that provides the seeds for new small businesses. A lot of equipment is going to be available for dimes on the dollar. Rent is going to be cheap in what used to be very high value places. I was working with a group of women entrepreneurs online last year at the beginning of the pandemic. So it was maybe April, May. And one of them was a dress designer. She lived in Northern California, would love to have been closer to San Francisco, but it was so expensive. And I said, go to San Francisco now, where everyone's shutting down. Sure enough, rents were plummeting. She was able to afford something in San Francisco. Same thing with, you're going to hear me talk about my son a couple times. He's in the blockchain space. And they love meeting in New York. They have clients in New York. They do all kinds of things there. Now they're actually looking at renting space in New York, right down in New York City, because they can. It wouldn't have been possible a year ago. So you want to think about what's available now that you couldn't have imagined a year ago. Because enterprising people, they're going to have to be really careful about where they decide to set up new businesses. Overall, you want to think more about Main Street than out in.
Hi there, hope you enjoyed that last clip. My name is Michael Maludis, and if you'd like to watch the full 60 minutes of that last webcast, while also gaining complete unlimited access to our entire library of IT learning, simply visit our subscribe page at greatpro.org/subscribe. Unlimited annual access is $199 per year, but if you use the coupon code LEARN2EARN, you can drop that membership fee to just $149. That's less than $13 per month for unlimited access to over 1,000 hours of on-demand career development, covering the entire spectrum of IT management best practices, including business analysis and requirements, software development, quality and testing, risk management, process improvement, project management, and even digital transformation. But your membership doesn't just give you unlimited access to our vast learning library. You also get free access to our mobile app, as well as direct access to our network of over 300 of the world's leading IT consultants, all of whom are dedicated to putting practical knowledge at your fingertips so that you can learn more and earn more. I hope you will join me in becoming a member of the Great IT Professional and advancing your career with us. And if you're on YouTube, don't forget to hit that subscribe button above so that you get notified whenever we publish new free webcasts each week of the year. Thank you for your time and best wishes for your continued success.